Hi, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another episode of my Christian Music Week reviews. Each week I take 5 releases, LCPs or singles, and after I've listened to them all week, I come back here and I review them. I share what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get to this week's first release, Reach Records, Summer 21 Playlist. This year's edition of Reach Records Annual Summer Playlist, Summer 21. Let's dive into it. So, this is a playlist of new singles that Reach Records drops every year. This year's playlist includes most of the Reach Record roster. Although Andy Mineo, Gobby, and What Up RG are not on here, we do have Lecrae. I'm wearing my Lecrae t-shirt even. Tadashi, Tripoli, 1K Few, One Day, and Holby. We also have some artists not on the Reach Records roster, including Indie Tribe, Miles Minnick, Big Breeze, just name a few. Pretty good playlist here, stylistically. A mix of hip-hop bangers along with some more pop-influenced hip-hop tracks. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. Talks about coming up in God's timing, and also talks about feeling joy in God's spirit no matter what snakes may come to bite us. Also talks about the ultimate goal of shining the light of God's love. Up next, Gazelle's new album, Spin. Gazelle's surprise album, Spin. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here. I would say the production on his last mixtape, Pardon Me, that came out a few months ago, was better. But then again, the production on that mixtape was awesome, so just saying. But still pretty good album here. Definitely hip-hop bangers for sure, stylistically, instrumentally, synth, piano, and bass, vocally. Sing rapping is what dominates, but we also have some rapping and some singing as well. And as for the lyrics here, he talks about how he fights temptations every day as an imperfect man in this cold world, and talks about how he's running for the prize, trying to follow Jesus in his own lane rather than impressing the religious standards of others. Up next, Brandon Murphy's new EP, Better King. Brandon Murphy's new EP, Better King. Let's dive into it. So, good EP here. Took a little time to grow on me, but by the second listen was pretty into this EP. Stylistically here, definitely a synth pop sound overall. Though Bored does have some R&B influence, and This World's Not My Home has some Latin influence with the acoustic guitar there. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. The opening song talks about how we do anything not to be bored. The next few songs talks about waiting on God, the better king, to turn dark nights into good. And also, This World Is Not My Home which is the last two tracks on this album, So there's the original version of it, and then there's the Afrobeats remix. But anyhow, this song talks about not fixing his eyes on everything he sees in this world, because this world's not my home, and knowing that helps him to live as he's meant to. Up next, Abby Robertson's self-titled debut EP. Abby Robertson's self-titled debut EP. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good debut EP here. Stylistically, ranges from contemporary pop to worship. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. She talks about how she needs Jesus to be her sanctuary of peace in the stormy times and even in the mountain good times. Also talks about how this world tells her she needs to be more, but she'll listen to God, who tells her the truth, that she's loved just as she is. And she also talks about how we need to reflect that love to the world. Up next, our last release for today, Baylor Wilson's debut EP, Joy Comes in the Morning. Baylor Wilson's debut EP, Joy Comes in the Morning. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good EP here, stylistically. Definitely got a country pop feel to it. As for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here, touches on a few different themes. Talks about how she's been changed by Jesus happening to her. Also talks about how there may be weeping in the night, but God causes the sun of joy to rise in the morning. And also talks about how Jesus gives rest for her soul. And talks about how she'll never walk alone again. She'll follow Jesus all the way home. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for 5 more releases. If you like what you saw in this video, please subscribe and press the notification button so you know when I drop videos. I put out videos every week, Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Also, if you have any thoughts on today's releases or what I may have said about them, let me know that in the comments below. Also in the comment section, you can let me know what releases from today that you want to see in next week's video. Also, check out the playlist section for my Music Muffin Streams playlist this month, featuring songs from artists like Aaron Schust, Cannon, Matthew West, and others. So go and check that out on Spotify or YouTube Music if you're interested in that. Well, go now. See you next week.